Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Coach Chris from definedriskinvesting.com. I'm filming this on July 25th, 2024 at 3:10 p.m. Central Time. The markets have just closed, and I wanted to do a quick recap because we've had a crazy 2 days in a row here, and at the end of the market today, man, they really threw a loop at us. But I've got an indicator, and it was almost right on both yesterday and today. And I wanted to show you from today. I think we had 4 unbelievable triggers on it. And I'll show you those in a minute. Before I do begin, I want to just disclose, obviously, I'm not a financial planner, financial advisor. This is not to be taken as financial advice. This video is for educational purposes only. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So what I have on my screen here is a 2-day, 30-minute chart of the MNQ futures market. And you can see yesterday, this chart started at early morning. All times that I'm disclosing are Central Time. That's the time zone, so you can adjust accordingly to your time zone. You can see we started out up here at about the 19,700 level, and at 6:30 Central Time, this thing started to dump. And if I pull out my ruler and start it right here at 6:30, and I come down by, what is this? 2:30, we had dropped 534 points, 2.7%. And I mean, almost, they always say the market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. Well, this was the elevator. I mean, it was just bloodshed. And unfortunately, I tried trading against it here in the afternoon, thinking it couldn't go lower, and you know how that ends up. But I just kept it very small with 1 micro each time and with a tight stop loss. So but I did catch some really nice trades along the way as well. But I mean, that was after the market had just been going straight up for 2-3 months. This was really unexpected, I think, for most people. So that put us at about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. And then you can see here how we mostly consolidated. And then overnight, we had another drop. This was at 2 in the morning. We had another drop of about another 150 points. We did have news this morning. I forget the exact news, and this was at 7:30 Central Time. That's this bar here. And it was interpreted as positive initially. That was about 133-point up move, followed by, remember, this is a 30-minute candle, a huge red candle to the downside at 8 o'clock Central Time, just before the market opened. We dropped 200 points in a matter of 30 minutes. And actually, if you look at the wick on the next candle, from top to bottom, we actually had a 370 or 350 point drop in a matter of, let's see here, in a 3-hour period, no, not even 2.5 hour period of time. That's after a 550 point drop, 150 point drop. They did bring a little of it back here, but this drop alone represented a 1.8% decline. Then the market opens, they took us down, and immediately they ran this thing back up. So starting from the low point here, in a couple of hours, they ran this thing up 480 points. It was unbelievable in a very short. It's a 2.5% move in a. So this would be an hour, 2 hours, in a 3-hour period of time. They reversed it and brought it all the way back up. And as you can see here, we were about a quarter. We chewed away not only the overnight drop, but about a quarter of yesterday's drop as well. Then this was even crazier at about what time is this? It's about 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Well, it started a little before then. It started selling off. They brought it back up, and in the last half hour from here to the low, they dropped this thing another 300 points. It was unbelievable. Another point and a half. I mean, today was a trader's dream. If you didn't have a bias going in today, I mean, this was unbelievable. If you caught any amount of this, because it was nice and long trades. I'm going to go right now to my indicator that I was speaking of and show you what some of this. Now, I'm only going over today because yesterday it would take too long because I triggered so many trades today. So this is starting at 8 o'clock Central Time. We had a small trade, and to be quite honest, it didn't work out as great. Now, I'll show you the risk-reward profile of this in a second, but the way the indicator works is anytime you see a green arrow trigger down below, that means we're going long. And if you see a red arrow pointing down, we're going short. And the parameters are this. It's a minimum of a 2-to-1 risk to reward, maximum 25-point risk, and then we set the initial target at 50 points to the upside. And more often than not, we catch more than that. So here we triggered in on this candle here, and we got a nice, let's see what it was, 35%, which I took the profit at that point because it was pre-market. The market was about to open. I didn't want to stay in the trade too long. And you see, it was a good thing because then the market did reverse shortly after that. And so we were consolidating here, and then the New York Open was here, and shortly thereafter at 8:34, we got a trigger to the downside. And this was the one fail that we had today. So we triggered here on this candle. Remember, we're operating to the short side. We had a 25% loss, or 25-point loss. And you can see here, we got closed out on those two candles. So that was a small loss that we took, which offset that trade pretty much. So then we're cruising along, and here is that big sell-off from 8:30 Central Time up until right around 9:30 Central Time. And that drop was, we'll just go from the high to the low, was a 346-point drop. Then at this point, it was just like someone switched gears and the market started climbing back up, until finally here at 9:52, just before 10 o'clock, we got triggered into another long. And this was a beautiful trade. So we got triggered in at this candle, and we went up. This right here it went up almost immediately 50, anywhere from 35 to 50 points with absolutely zero drawdown. We entered on this candle and it never dropped before that level. Even with this big red, I took profit on this candle here. I usually take profit anywhere between 35 and 45 points and or let a runner go. But in this case, the way this market was behaving, I didn't trust anything. But you can see if you stayed in this trade, our biggest drawdown on this trade was right here. Let me see if I can adjust this a little better. A little higher. Sorry about this. That text is in the way. Our biggest drawdown was only 10 points. Was these two candles. And then it immediately reversed. And if I'd have stayed into this thing ended up with 113 points of profit. You can see here it triggered, went up and down. Like I said, the stop setting on this is 25 points, so you would have never, ever gotten stopped out if you stayed true to the stop loss and ended up with a 113-point banger. So these two offset, and now I've got a winner here. approximately 35-point winner. The market pulled back a little bit, and then it started to get some strength until right here at noon. And you can see here's where I've got my directional indicator, which pops up when there's a change of direction in the market. And you can see, so we're coming up at an angle, and right here at noon, this candle here, our directional indicator pops up. Above is green, below is red. It pops up. And so that was at noon, and you can see how we're slowly drifting down. Now you'll see my indicator, my proprietary indicator here. On the way up, the indicator is green, indicating that you can still take longs. When it turns gray, that means we're consolidating or neutral. And you can see here, it turned green up until around 12:10 Central Time. And then even though we started to go down, it was still giving us the gray neutral rating. We had a little patch, which we don't, unless it's a solid green or solid red, we don't trade that. And you can see continued consolidation. We get the indicator of a downward market. Now, the indicator here turned solid green. We're still coming down, which means we know we're going to get triggered soon. And sure enough, here we go. We get triggered on this candle, and we pick up a 54-point target with absolutely zero drawdown. Nothing. It never, ever went below that. So we were green the entire trade. 50 points. You can use that on your own contract size. You can trade this with the NQ if you want, multiple MNQ. I prefer the MNQ simply because we can peel off, we can add peel off, and without any problem, trades along the way and then leave as many runners. So that was at 1:50, almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that one triggered. Consolidation, and here we started a little blip up, and here again we're triggered at 2:26. What did I say this was? So this was at 2 o'clock, then at about a half hour later, we're triggered into another trade, okay? Here again, zero drawdown, 35-point target. So, very quick. This is a 2-minute chart, remember. That's all we trade this on is the 2-minute chart. So within 2 minutes, it immediately went up, hit my 34 points, and I obviously took profit at that point. Remember, better to take profit than to try and squeeze an extra point or two out and then have the market reverse on you and you lose the whole thing. In this case, this market today was perfect for our style of trading, like I said. I mean, I think all of the trades, virtually except maybe one or two early in the morning, they were green. It was amazing. They went huge, and they were green for the entire trade. And now I have the coup de grace. I mean, I almost quit trading because I was up substantially at this point with the two big winners. But here at 2:38, 20 minutes before the New York close, we got triggered into a short, okay? And this was a banger. I mean, it was insane. I was even hesitant to get in on this trade because it was so close to the New York close, and sometimes we see an up and down market for that. And I got to extend this down because I didn't even get the full amount. I mean, it's absolutely sickening. So we entered on this candle here, 25-point stop loss with an initial 50-point target, 2-1. We did not get any drawdown. This candle triggered. You can see the red arrow up on top that triggers on my proprietary indicator. We're in a down market, so we want to go short anyway if we can. We enter the trade, never went red. It was green the entire time, and we went, this is insane, 230 points to the good. I mean, it was absolutely insane. I'm going to move this over here just because I want to show you these candles. So I'll put this back over here if I can. This is the trade tool right here built into TradingView. So here's the candle, again, the entry candle here on the 2-minute chart. So we came down, and at this point, let me just measure this out, to right here was 85, almost 100 point, 90 point, roughly 90 points. We did get a green candle for some reason. I don't know, this green reversal candle was approximately, 43-point reversal right there, mixed in with this downdraft. When that closed, the thing immediately slammed down again and went for another, this is crazy, 170 points. So 170 plus, what did I say here, 50, roughly 220 points. If you traded one NQ contract on that, that's a $5,000 trade, right? 200 points, yeah, 200 times 25 is 5,000 right there. So I mean, and then say you you copy traded that. I'm copy trading over 10 Apex accounts right now, besides my other accounts and my live account. I mean, this was just insane. And the only problem, it was, I mean, they went right up to the wire. I mean, this is the closing bell right here. This is the 3 o'clock candle. So, I mean, it was from 20 minutes to 3 Central Time of the New York close to 3 o'clock. They moved that thing 250 points. It was insane. So that's my trade recap. I don't have this proprietary indicator for sale as of yet. I'm still, from all the back testing, I back tested this to the extreme for several months now and been trading it in this crazy market of maybe 2 to 3 months. Everything I will have is documented, all the risk to rewards. And I mean, right now I'm running at 80+% win rate with a 2-to-1, not a 1-to-1, a 1-to-2 risk 1 to make 2. So, I mean, even do the numbers, it's insane. So, again, this was Chris with Coach Chris from definedriskinvesting.com. I'm going to try and start uploading some more videos and getting these up here so you'll be able to see the results of this thing. So when I do release it, you can be first in line to get your hands on it, because honestly, I debated whether to release it or not, and I decided why not. People need this type of indicator when they're first starting out, and this thing is phenomenal. So you take care. Happy trading, everyone.